WAMD Aberdeen.
Welcome to Chamber Buzz, a presentation of the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. Here are your hosts, Heather Irizarry.
Good morning. Welcome back to Chamber Buzz. Happy Wednesday. This is Kate Rodriguez, the Marketing and Communications Specialist at the Chamber. And we have a very special guest on this morning, Leslie Greenlee-Smith of Harford County Public Library. She's the Marketing and Communications Administrator there. Obviously, we all know and love the library. So I can't wait to pick her brain about some things. She's also on the board at SARC, the Sexual Abuse and Sexual Assault Resource Center. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that as well this morning, which I'm very excited about.
Aww. Cannot wait. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. Thanks for making the time and coming on.
And also, as usual, we're missing Heather this morning, but I'm Connor Hanley. I'm the membership coordinator with the Chamber. So Kate and I will be leading the charge this morning without Heather. But we're very excited to be here and to have Leslie with us. So
definitely, we've got a
started.
Good group of ladies here.
That's right. We're standing in for you, Heather. Sleep in today.
That's right.
Yes. Heather's actually at Harford Leadership Academy, so
that's right.
Yep, she's in that 2019 class. So if anyone has any questions about that, I know she's had some great experiences so far, and feel free to pick her brain about that.
Yeah, I graduated with Harford Leadership Academy last year, and it was amazing. It was a wonderful experience. You learn so much about Harford County that you don't even know you need to know. So it was just a really good experience. It makes you smarter and better, and you just meet a wonderful group of people. So I'm glad to hear she's a part of that.
Awesome, yes, and hopefully next year will be my turn, so I'm very excited. Heard so many great things. Just like to touch on the library champions a campaign called Choose Civility, and that is all about lifting up our community by promoting respect, restraint, and responsibility. And every month they put out their little random acts of kindness calendar, and I highly recommend you just head over to Choose Civility's Facebook page and just check that out, because it's nice to just, you know, every day it feels good, and you never know what someone might be going through. So those little random acts of kindness, right, might really turn someone's day around. And today's little random act of kindness is to put a few coins in a stranger's parking meter. So if you're, you know, in downtown Bel Air today and you see someone's parking meter is about to run out, have a few coins, go ahead and do that. And then I looking at the calendar, I got really excited because tomorrow
This is a great one.
Puppies and Pie.
Yes.
And I was like,
gosh.
what is that about?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. So
Yes, that's an event that's happening at our Chapel Library tomorrow from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And we thought, what a great way to celebrate Pie Day, with puppies and actual PIE pie. So we're working with the Humane Society, and they are actually going to have puppies there that are up for adoption. So you can stop by between 6:30 and 7:30 and play with the puppies, have some pie, and this is, as you said, an initiative of Choose Civility. You know, it goes for people, it goes for animals, it goes for litter, picking up after yourself. You know, Choose Civility really is a broad spectrum of an initiative that we're really thrilled to be a part of. You know, we're in partnership with Barry Glassman and his administration, and we have some amazing events coming up. On March 30th, we have our second human library, which now that we have one under our belt, I can share with you it was an absolutely amazing day. The purpose of the human library is for people to have one-on-one conversations with other people that maybe they don't know about their lifestyle, they don't know about their background. So we had an application process where Harford County citizens applied to be books. So they have something that they want to talk about. We have a woman who grew up Catholic and she switched to a different religion. We have, you know, people who have been through hardships and gotten on the other side of it, and they're really eager to share their experiences with other citizens in a one-on-one safe conversation. So we had 9 books at our first human library, at our Abingdon library on February 23rd. And we had over 35 people come and check out those books. Wow. So we had little tables set up, and the book is sitting at the table, and readers come and they check out a book for a certain time period. All of the events go from 1 to 4 p.m. in 15-minute increments. So people came and signed up and sat down with a person that had a title that they were interested in and talked to them for 15 minutes. And I can tell you that every conversation was different with each reader and each book. So it was a really wonderful day, and hopefully, you know, it opens people's eyes to we're all the same. We all have the same goals. We all have the same sensibilities. We just express them differently. So that was a wonderful event. Our next one is at our Havre de Grace Library on Saturday, March 30th, also from 1 to 4. And then the very next weekend, Saturday, April 6th, at our Falston Library, also from 1 to 4. So mark your calendars. We had all age groups. We had high school students. We had senior citizens. We had everything in between.
Wow,
so it was a really amazing day.
And that's
fantastic.
such a creative idea. I love that.
It's actually, the Human Library was started in Denmark, and it's a registered company. So we had to apply to host these events here in Harford County at our libraries. And it's a pretty extensive, you know, application. We were approved, and then interviewing the books is a really extensive process. So it's a really curated, very organized, amazing event.
Wow.
Yeah, so it
That's
was great.
awesome.
Yeah, it was
that
really
is
fun. So I
amazing.
encourage your listeners to mark your calendars for March 30th at Havre de Grace 1 to 4, and Falston April 6th from 1 to 4. And then on May 4th, we have another amazing Choose Civility event called The Longest Table.
Yes. I've seen
And that is at Ripken Stadium, and it's from 9 to 11. And what The Longest Table is kind of similar to the Human Library. We want to get people together to have conversations in Harford County. You know, conversations about, did you move here? Why did you move here? Why did you stay here? Like, you know, what is your family life like here? What do you do for fun? And just really start the conversation between people who may not know each other. So, for example, if Connor, you and Kate came together, you check in at the same time. Connor, you would get a blue wristband, and Kate, you would get an orange wristband, and then you would go to the blue table and the orange table. So you don't sit with people you know. And we have 6 people at a table, and then we have a moderator, and we're going to have about 4 or 5 questions or more discussion points, and you get a meal. Tickets are on sale. They're $17, and with that you get a great meal, a brunch.
Wow, that's really not bad, including.
No, and we're not making any money on this. We're just covering the cost. We hope to have about between 200 and 300 people.
That's fantastic.
So we've already sold a bunch of tickets, so I think it's going to be really great. There's sponsorship opportunities if anyone is interested in helping to defray the cost of this and be a sponsor of this wonderful event. They can reach out directly to me at smithL@hcplonline.org. And if they're interested in tickets, they can go to hcplonline.org.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you see so many people in Harford County and day to day, and it's also surface. You know, people are just so busy now. They don't make time to make connections and conversations. So that's a great way to get to know your community. That's wonderful.
It's true, and we hope to make this an annual event, as
I
well
love
as
that.
the human libraries. So
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
We have so much to learn from each other, and I like just from an events perspective, but in a lot of different ways. People just tend to stick with those cliques, and the same similar people kind of segregate themselves, and it's wonderful to just like take a step back and learn from people of a different walk of life. So that's absolutely wonderful.
And then hopefully it will affect your life as you go through the year. You'll see somebody in the grocery store and you'll help them. You'll put coins in their, you know, someone's parking meter. Our Act of Kindness calendar, we updated each month on our Facebook page, and there's all different types of little things that you can do for others and also do for yourself, to recharge your batteries and to center yourself and to become, the person that we all want to be. So the Harford County Public Library is just thrilled to be a part of this.
That's
amazing.
Awesome. You guys do so much. It's incredible to me that you can do all of that.
Thank you.
It
It keeps us busy, that's for sure.
And yes.
Well, we realize that the library is really a center of any community. It's so much more than books. It's experiences. People come to the library to check out books, to check out magazines, but they also come to our events, to our author events. They come to our programs like Puppies and Pie, Arts and Crafts. We have story times for all ages at all of our branches, which are hugely, hugely popular. So we want to continue to be that center for the Harford County community by offering these unique experiences.
Awesome.
Love to hear that. So coming off of the Athena Award, Harford County Public Library obviously just had their Women's Summit. International Women's Day we celebrated last week. We're an all-female staff at the Chamber, Angela, Heather, Connor, and I, so we felt a little special that day.
You should. You guys do a lot for Harford County as well. With a team of 4, you really get a lot of work done. So thank you for everything you do.
That means so much. So just hearing all these empowering stories, and it's Women's History Month, going into that, we'd like to discuss that a little bit. The library has a ton of Women's History events, Women's History Month events going on. That's on their website. That's the first thing that comes up. So definitely check those out. And then SARC has their Walk a Mile event coming up on April 27th at Black Eyed Susie's. Donations for that are open now. So head over there. I believe you can donate any amount.
You sure can, and you can actually form a team. So that is really, really fun. If you get a team from your office or your neighborhood or your church or work, that really is when it gets fun. The teams that have been doing this year after year after year are so generous with their time, so generous with their donations, and man, they are competitive. They compete to walk in those high heels in a mile. But we do have flats for those men who maybe don't want to wear high heels if they don't want to brave. And I actually helped one year to sort the shoes, and it is just hilarious to see like size 13 heels and flats. I'm sure. And we've had wonderful partners who've donated shoes over the years, and it's interesting to watch a man put on a pair of high heels, and then they stand up and they go, "What do they look like? Do they look?" So I'm like, "Oh, they're just like us."
Yeah, they really are. That's so funny.
And every single one of them says without fail, "I can't believe you women wear these."
Yeah.
So it really is, all fun and games aside, an eye-opening experience for the men who participate in this, because it's such a great representation of really walking a mile in someone's shoes. So it's a wonderful event, and it has grown each year. So that's fantastic.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Definitely go check that out on SARC's website. And then I just want to get into a couple questions, just picking Leslie's brain. What is something that, we all know and love, like I said, the library, but what is something that people might not know or might not realize about the library?
Well, I think one of the things that is fabulous about the library is all of our services are free. And those services entail what we were talking about earlier. Events in the library. Some of our events are paid, but they really are bigger system-wide events, and we do that just to cover costs. But, the majority, 99% of our services are free. And that goes for our online services. We have Gale courses online, so you can learn a language for free.
Wow.
You can get certificates in graphic design and photography, and it's all free.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is.
People pay hundreds of dollars
They
for those kinds
do.
of
They
things.
do. They do. And we have instructors that lead those.
That's wonderful.
You can, a lot of people read their books on tablets these days. We have thousands and hundreds of thousands of titles there that are available. So to be a patron or to be a customer of the library, you really don't have to come into the library if that doesn't suit your lifestyle.
Right.
I know I used to commute to Baltimore for about 10 years. I took out books on tape, audio books, at least 5 a week, and that's what I listened to, because I didn't want to listen to the radio, to
Right.
commercials, and I really learned a lot. I did
Yes.
historical books, I did memoirs, I did all types of different things. So,
Very cool.
you know, we offer those services, and they're free. Free is the word, and I think a lot of the community may not realize that these services are available with no charge. You just need a library card, and you can even do that online. So it's very easy. HCPLonline.org, go to the e-resources tab and check it out. Ancestry.com if you're into genealogy. You can do that free on the library.
Yeah.
So Connor's making a list here.
Right, I know. I've got a to-do list now.
Yeah, and
Man, that
speaking
is
of
very
genealogy, that is a huge area of popularity in Harford County, and we have a genealogy conference every year in March, and ours is coming up March 30th, and it is at the Armory in Bel Air from 9 to 4, and it's free. Tickets go on sale, or tickets become available on Monday, and I will tell you, it fills up very, very quickly. So if you have an interest in coming to that, we have 4 amazing speakers from across the state that are coming to talk about different things that will help people in their genealogy search, like DNA or the same first name, last name through generations, because sometimes that's a little bit difficult to research. So just tricks and tips of the trade. These 4 speakers are renowned and wonderful. And then we have resource tables set up. So it's a full day event. You can pack your lunch. You can go out for lunch. It's a pretty good day. And again, it fills up quickly. So tickets go on sale or are available on Monday the 18th.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
hope everybody has their calendars out.
Yes.
because
I
these
know,
are
I
awesome
know.
events.
Don't worry.
they are
Don't
very
worry if
cool.
you're listening now and you missed these dates, because when we post this video, I'll have everything listed, all the library events and our events listed below for you to check out. So don't worry about that. And then switching gears a little bit, if someone is looking to get involved with SARC, maybe volunteer, maybe give resources or donate, what is SARC in need of the most, do you think, right now?
Well, we're always in need of people to help with events, volunteers to help with, food distribution and just the things that take away from the staff's day.
Right.
So just go to the SARC website, sarcmd.org, and there's a list on there. There's a wish list on there if you want to give by way of a donation. They're always looking for furniture that fits in our safe house, and other items for the safe house: toilet paper, paper towels, those things that you don't really even think about.
Right.
But if you're going to Costco, you can pick up an extra one of those packages and drop it off, and it will be greatly needed.
So easy to help just a little bit.
It
so
is.
definitely.
It is.
Yes.
And if we all do a little bit, going back to the civility thing, it makes such a huge
Yes.
difference in the community.
It really does. So getting into, I want to talk about just celebrating women, and especially in our community. Is there a woman who's maybe helped you in your career journey, or someone in the community who you look up to?
Well, there are a lot of women in my past who have just been amazing throughout my entire career, starting with my mother. I have 3 sisters. My parents had a small business, so, they always worked. My mother worked the whole time I was growing up, and still made time for, all the things that were important to us. She just instilled in all of us a good work ethic and good morals and good values, and my dad too. I have to give him some credit too. But she was probably my first biggest influence. And then I have just been blessed throughout the years to work for amazingly strong women who are doing amazing things, both at work and at home. So
Wonderful.
that's not easy. That's
No.
not
No.
easy.
No, it's not.
And my current partner in crime, Mary Hassler, is at the top of that list. You know, she is, you guys know, she's at every
Awesome.
event. She is, wants to help however the library can help. She is constantly talking about partnerships and what can we do to help this organization and what can we do to help that organization. And, you know, going back to the library is the center of a community. It really, really is. And she takes that to heart and she takes it seriously. And, you know, I think we all see the benefits in what the library offers because of her vision. And so we all work with that vision. We're all kind of the same in that way. Very passionate, very driven, very committed. And she is hard to keep up with, I'm not going to lie. But every time we go to an event or every time we partner with another organization, it's so rewarding. Not only for us, but for the citizens of Harford County. So
Wonderful.
Yeah,
And
that's
Mary
awesome.
Hassler, she sits on our executive board as well and does
That's
so
right.
much for us. And I know she's won the Daily Record's top influential, I think it's top 100 influential women in Maryland. She's won that over and over again.
yes,
So
yes.
yes, definitely does a lot for Harford
I
County.
don't know how she keeps track of all of it.
I
Just-
know, I
it's
know. And
amazing.
you know what? She always has a smile on her face. She's always positive. She's always, you know, ready for the next big thing. So it's
Awesome.
really wonderful to work with someone and work for someone who has that attitude.
That's great.
So talking about just trying to handle all that, I know she has got to be extremely busy, and you as well, just with all the libraries got going on and all the things you do with nonprofits and just in the community. Do you have any tips for women who have, you know, so much going on, career, family, personal commitments? Do you have any little bits of wisdom on dealing with that work-life balance?
Well, you know, it's an elusive thing for sure. And I couldn't do what I do without the team that I have back at the library. Megan, Carrie, Cindy, Stephanie. They jump in, they help with whatever we need help with. They make the whole library successful. So having them as part of the team is immeasurable. And then also having a leader with vision like Mary does. So you know, we are busy. We're a very busy organization, so we need to be organized. And I think every person organizes differently. So I don't, you know, we all have to find our own balance there.
Right.
But just knowing what the vision of the library, and so my advice is, you know, if you're not sure what the vision is of your organization, it makes it really hard to be successful. And it makes it hard to, or challenging to stay on top of things because it's kind of a moving target. So we all are pretty clear on the vision of Harford County Public Library, and that helps tremendously. We are working on our strategic plan right now. We've had 3 meetings leading up to the adoption of our vision and strategic plan for the next couple of years, and it's just amazing. We had, you know, librarians and SARC supervisors from all different branches, and the meetings were amazing. So stay tuned for that.
Wonderful.
That'll
Oh.
be published soon.
Wonderful. I know a lot of businesses and organizations have that value statement or mission statement, their vision, and they have that, it's official, but they don't really think about it on a regular basis. It just kind of sits there. They don't really do much with it. So I think that's something that does help make the library great, is they function with that vision every day and keep reflecting back on it, and that's what drives them. And
It does, and it really helps you prioritize because you know this X, Y, and Z is what we want to accomplish, and by doing A, B, and C, it will help us support that. So the task leading up to the strategic plan and the mission statement and all that is so important for any organization.
Yes, definitely.
That's great. And thinking about, you know, the next generation and moving forward
Oh.
with the library, what has your experience been as a mentor, mentee, and do you think women have a responsibility for the next generation of women, building them up in the business
I
community.
do think they have a responsibility. And responsibility may not be the word. I mean, I have a desire to, I always have, because I have had great leaders in my life, and I know how important that is. And still to this day, I need to be led. I need to be motivated. I need to be, we all do. We all need to get that energy from the people that we work with. So I've had a saying on my bulletin board since forever. And I brought it with me today because it's just how my mind works. Leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders.
Oh, I love that.
So that is really important to me, and my team, and how I work with my team. And I encourage them to be the best they can be, and I want them to be leaders. I want them, we all pass through life. We're not going to be here forever. So our responsibility is to prepare, for me, the library for the next generation, which means, we have to be on top of technology. We have to be thinking how millennials think. My two millennial girls here.
Right. We're tough to keep up with.
Oh, it is. But I love millennials. I love working with millennials. I think if you would ask any generation, they would say the next generation has issues. I think that's just the way it is. So, we can learn a lot from each other. So
That's so great to hear that you're embracing that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so refreshing because we hear so much about millennials, even with people that, I see regularly, that millennials are this or millennials are that, and just embracing that next generation and saying, how can we work with them? And I think to be successful, any organization needs to look to the next generation and how can we work with them and how can we...
we have to.
Yeah, we absolutely have to survive. So
Steph Murphy, who is our manager at our Havre Grace branch, has a series that she's doing called Adulting 101. And it is for millennials. She calls herself Millennial Staff. And she's kind of bridging the two. So it's really interesting. She has guest speakers come in. So again, go to hcplonline.org. I believe we have something next week. She's doing something like They Didn't Teach Me That. So that's the name of her her series that
I definitely need to
great.
check that out.
I was going to say, I might have to
sounds
check that
awesome.
out because you just kind of get thrown into adulthood. They don't teach you all these things like taxes and, all of that. And it's just like, here you go.
Right,
So
and Steph is
amazing
great.
to have
She has a
somebody
great delivery. She's delightful. She's funny. So go. You guys should totally go. She would love to see you.
yeah.
Sounds
And
awesome.
Havre
That
Grace
sounds
is a
wonderful.
gorgeous branch.
Oh,
so.
yes. But
Yep.
completely redone a couple years ago and everything. Gorgeous.
Oh, and speaking of, our Abingdon Library is closed for a much-needed roof and window demolition project. So
man.
it closed in early March, and it will be closed through August. And when it opens up, it's going to be gorgeous. We're doing some refreshes
see
on
it.
the inside. So if you're
excited to see it.
an Abingdon customer, we know you're going through some withdrawal, but we have plenty. We have 10 other branches. We have Bel Air, which is right down the street, and we've already been seeing a lot of customers go to some of the branches that they don't get to go to. So it's kind of interesting to see their reaction when they walk into a branch and they're like, where are the holds and where's the children's area? So it's a good icebreaker for the staff at these outlying other 10 branches. So
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
That'll
just a
be worth
little
it.
plug for the Bel Air Library that's right up the street. Every time I call my grandmother, she might be your most loyal Bel Air branch fan. Every time I call her, hey, Grandma, what are you doing? Oh, I'm at the library. Every day, I promise you, every day. So she loves the Bel Air branch. It's wonderful. So
Oh,
if
good.
you're
That's
like
great
in
to
the Bel
hear.
Air area and you usually go to Abingdon, you can scoot over to Bel Air.
yeah,
My
and say
grandmother
hi
could
to
be your
grandma.
right,
Connor's
exactly.
grandmother.
Look out for my grandma.
And the
the
children's area that they just redid is absolutely gorgeous. I actually, in high school, I worked as a page at Joppa Library, but I trained
wow.
at Bel Air Library. So that was like my first job ever, and working there at Bel Air Library. So I have a special place in my heart as well. So.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Little
Great
plug.
to hear.
So again, just going back to that next generation, is there a piece of advice that you would give a woman just starting out in her career?
I would say be open to anything. Be open. I think listening is the greatest skill that a woman or a man could have. Listening and hearing and evaluating and just being part of the team. And being part of a team is being a good listener, closing your mouth till someone finishes their sentence, having good manners, and those good manners lead to good things because, you know, you're listening and you can then make great contributions to the team. So listening is a skill that is...
It's a lost art.
It is a lost
Definitely.
art.
Yeah,
You know,
it
most
really
people
is.
are sitting there thinking about what they're going to say
Exactly.
instead of really listening and hearing what someone is saying. So,
That's something, one of our educational seminars recently, we were talking about that, and so many people just listen to respond. So, yeah, definitely, that's great advice, I think. Is there something that you love about doing, having a career in Harford County, this community? What about that particularly?
well, it's an interesting question. You know, my husband and I moved here in 2005, and he works in New Jersey, so he's got a really long commute. That's why we
wow.
moved up here.
Gosh.
Wow.
And then I commuted to Baltimore. So really, for about 11, 12 years, we just came here to sleep, and we live in Havre de Grace, so we would go to Havre de Grace, maybe every once in a while go to something in Bel Air. So one of the things I love about working here now is that I live and work in the same community, which is really special. It really is. I love seeing the smiles on the kids' faces at the library where I work. I love going to the grocery store and seeing someone that I know. I mean, I love that sense of community that Harford County has. And I lived in Anne Arundel County for many, many years. And it doesn't have the same sense of community that Harford County has. And I think that we should celebrate that and continue to foster that. It's really, really special here. It's very special here. We love living here. We're glad we're here. You know, it's just, there's something really awesome about living and working in the same community.
Yes.
I highly recommend
Completely
it. I
agree.
don't miss the
Yes.
commute. But I would do the commute if I didn't love what I do. You know, it's not that far.
Right.
But when you don't do it, you're glad you don't do it. But I'm even more glad than that. I'm glad to live and work in Harford County.
It is a good place to be.
It
really
is. It is.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, when I lived in Towson for school,
Uh-huh.
I came home like almost every day. I wanted to be home, and in Harford County, there really is no place like Harford County.
It's true.
So,
It's a really unique, special place.
yeah, it is. So,
Definitely feel lucky to have a job and live. I was born and raised in Harford County, so just on that note, completely agree with that. So thank you, Leslie, for all that
You're so
wonderful
welcome.
information.
Thank you.
Just wrapping up here, I do want to touch on the tragedy that happened earlier this week with, we lost Andrew Klein, president of Klein ShopRite, as well as a little boy, Trip Johnson. Just our hearts are with those families. My thoughts and prayers are with them. Completely unimaginable to be in that situation. Tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Black Eyed Susie's, as well as McGurk's, our neighbor over in Bel Air, they're having 20% of all proceeds from those two restaurants will be going to the Johnson family. So definitely stop by for lunch, dinner down in Bel Air, and those proceeds are going to go to the Johnson family. Of course, everything that they need right now is going to cost a lot, so definitely consider that tomorrow. Just a couple of chamber announcements. Our 2019 Economic Outlook Breakfast is happening on March 28th.
I'll be there.
Yay! Excited to hear that.
Yay! Already have my ticket.
Wonderful. Registration is open for that now. We're going to hear from Ray Keating. He's the chief economist of the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Council. He's going to be our keynote speaker. And then we're also going to hear from Len Parrish. He's the director of the Harford County Office of Community and Economic Development. He's going to give us an update on the state of Harford County's economy right now. And then one more little plug for our Harford County Chamber of Commerce Education Foundation. We have scholarships for high school and continuing education, and those are due April 4th. So if you know a high schooler or someone who's looking to go into a trade, definitely let them know about that. It's a great opportunity, and all of that information is on our website as well.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes. So stay in touch. We are Harford_Chamber on Twitter and Instagram, and Harford County Chamber of Commerce on Facebook, as well as YouTube. Lots of content going out every day. And then every Friday we have our Chamber Insider, and that's a little blog post that lets you know what our staff is doing on a regular basis. Our President and CEO Angela Rose is going down to Annapolis and fighting for these different legislative issues that are important to business. So definitely check that out for all of that information. And then Leslie, do you have any contact information that you'd like to share for the library?
Sure. All of our services and events, foundation information can be found at hcplonline.org. And if you need anything from me in the way of marketing or choose Civility, you can email me at smithL@hcplonline.org.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thanks again for coming on the
Of
show. We really
course.
enjoyed
Wonderful
it.
having you.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
It was really great.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So have a good rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for listening.
You've been listening to Chamber Buzz, a presentation of the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. For more information, go to harfordchamber.org.